and welcome to another episode of Matt Goes Car Camping. I'm rather glad I'm going this way on the M25. The target for today is a little village called Penshurst. It's a village I've never been to before, and it's fairly tight, the parking area that I'm looking at. There's only about space for 8 cars there, so I'm hopeful we will get in there. If not, there are plenty of small villages all around the area, so I'm sure we will find somewhere else. Every time I go car camping, I always look on Google and Park for Night and try to find somewhere to go. And recently I've been looking an awful lot in the area of Essex and actually Surrey. But what I've come to realise is that actually there are so many nice places I haven't been to within my home county of Kent that actually I don't really need to look far away to find somewhere. I mean, Penshurst is only 30 minutes away from my house. What I always like about the car camps that I do is that they always tend to be very close to home, and that's always been a good thing I think about my car camps and this channel, is that it's all about showing you what is actually on your doorstep but you might not know. We are only 6 minutes away, and interestingly we are actually quite close to somewhere we've car camped before when I car camped in Edenbridge. It seems to be pretty much the same way. Okay, we are here and there are no spaces. Oh, there is spaces. And this is absolutely why I love car camping in Kent, because that was such an effortless journey and it was only about half an hour to get here, and the view is amazing. Now the only problem is we are on a monster slope here, and as you'll know from previous car camps, I really don't do well sleeping on slopes. So if I'm lucky, one of these cars might move a bit later and hopefully down there might be a little bit flatter. Now, one of the good things about my car camping setup is that it's not fixed, so I can have the car like this. The car is set up essentially normally and everything is packed away in the back, so it basically means I can happily park my car here, or anywhere actually, and literally no one would suspect I was a car camper. When I come back to the car to actually sleep, or wherever I'm going to sleep tonight, then all I've got to do is take out that cover, put that down there, and then I've actually got enough room to set the camper up inside the car. Well, I'm rather pleased to say it did not take me too long to find somewhere better to park. It is completely flat, and it's more so in the village. It is a tiny village, but we're actually right outside Penshurst Place. So I think we might take a walk down there and see if we can go in. I've also done for this car camp, I've mapped out quite a nice little trail route. So it was actually where I was first parked. That's where the access to the trail starts. So there's a good route to the left and there's a good route to the right, both about 5 miles long. Now originally I was thinking about doing the run when I first got here, but actually you know what, I'm quite enjoying just going for a walk right now. So I think what we'll do is 3:30 now. We're just going to walk for a couple of hours basically, just enjoy the views and go a different way to where we're going to run tomorrow. And then tomorrow we'll do a nice little trail run in the morning before I head off home. So without wanting to be all dramatic, what we have here is exactly what I wanted from this car camp destination, and that is a public footpath that leads to this. Greenery and fields for as far as you can see. It's so peaceful. It's lovely. It looks like what we're actually doing is called the Penshurst Trail Walk. Now I've got no idea how long it is. Sunlight wise, I think we've got probably an hour and a bit left. We've been out for an hour already, amazingly. But yeah, let's make the most of it. I've been thinking about doing a Fat to Fit in 2023 series. I mentioned it on the last live, but I think, to be honest, what I'm going to do is something a bit different. I'm going to run it within the car camps, and actually by doing that it will encourage me to run again and generally be more healthy when I do the car camps. And if you remember rightly, actually that's what my plan for car camps originally was. It was always to do a car camp and go for a run in the morning. And then what I can do is give you little updates on how I'm doing each car camp. And because I'm being healthy again, that means for my dinner tonight I have something rather different to normal, because I actually started a new diet this week. And yeah, I'll tell you later on how much weight I've actually lost already in just 1 week. Hardest decision on any car camp is whether to go rural or to go coastal. And as much as I love coastal park ups, this here walk is exactly why I love rural, because this is just so nice. It's so peaceful. Well, I was just about to head back because it's 5 o'clock and it will probably be dark now by the time I get back to the car. But I was looking on Google Maps, and at the end of where this pathway stops appears to be a little public car park. So I'm intrigued to see what it is. Although you could park here, although it says you get locked in, there's no gate to lock, so you can't get locked in. But to be honest, it's just a bit dodgy, isn't it? No, I wouldn't like that space. I think we are much better off where we are. The problem with walking 10k in a straight line in one direction means you got to do 10k straight back in the other direction, and when you're hungry it's a little bit of a pain, but it's still a lovely walk, even though it is definitely going to be dark by the time I get back to the car. I tell you what though, it might be possible to set this whole car up when you're inside it, but it never gets any easier doing it. But we are here now, we are all set up, I've got a coffee, and I need to get on and make food because it is 7:10 and I am starving. Now food wise, given the time, I am tempted just to have a pot noodle because I do have a noodle in the car. But what I wanted to make tonight was actually something using my little 12-volt lunchbox again. And when I used the 12-volt lunchbox last time, I started it off at home and it cooked for 2 hours first. And basically it cooked the food before I even left the home. Now what I wanted to do today was actually to cook something in it in the car when I get to the car camp. And then that leads me nicely to what I was talking about earlier, and that is my new diet that I started this week. So what I am doing as of the start of this week is I've gone veggie. to be honest, I don't mind corn. We always have corn in the house. I'm happy to say I've already lost £2 just in 5 days from being veggie. And I'm doing it as a calorie counting as well, so MyFitnessPal again. Tofu chunks. Never had these before. They're from Sainsbury's, but I saw them in there and I thought, well, it'll be quite good for car camping. And you don't really need to cook it because they're already cooked. So all I've got is some tofu chunks, rice, a little bit of veg. I'm going to chuck in a couple of eggs into the lunchbox as well. I'm going to stop blabbing and get this in, otherwise I am literally never going to eat. So let's see how fast and how well this cooks. I am a lot happier in this location as opposed to where I thought I was going to park. This is perfectly flat and I feel absolutely fine. The only thing that's slightly disconcerting about this new spot is that I'm on a blind bend. But I think the only saving grace is that it's a very wiggly, windy, slow moving road. So I wouldn't expect to see someone come flying around the corner. Another good thing about tonight is that it is quite warm in the car. So even though I've got my hoodie, I don't really need it because I've got my little hoodie on. And to be honest, that's more than enough. And HB, there you go. Porta Potty's lovely coat. Okay, so it has been 1 hour. So let's see how this is doing. Oh, the egg's cooking, but it definitely needs a lot more. Well, it's a rather ridiculous 9:45. The lunchbox has taken a good 40% of the jackery and this food smells horrid. Okay, I couldn't eat it. It was actually disgusting. I tried to eat it. I hate wasting food. But even with 10 tons of soy sauce and sesame oil, it's just foul. It's just the most nastiest thing I've eaten in a very long time. So I've left it in the lunchbox. Chuck it in the bin later. Thankfully, I always keep a spare pot noodle. So on that note, I think I'm going to hit the sack now because, to be honest, I am knackered and it's only 11 o'clock. So I will see you all in the morning. Now, before you do anything in the morning, you absolutely need your caffeine. Well, at least I do anyway. And I had another great night's sleep. I was in bed at 11. I was probably asleep by 11:30, and I slept right the way through to 5 o'clock in the morning. And it was as quiet as, I think I heard one car during the night, maybe. I was rudely awakened, not by the alarm noise that I played. I recorded that after the thing that actually rudely woke me, and that was a young lad parking behind me, blasting his music really loud and making my whole car shake. But I thought, no, I can't be bothered to film it. But I might use it as a thumbnail, you know. I was rudely awakened. And that could be the thumbnail picture. I mean, last night in the car, it was cold. Not freezy cold, but I should have really got my hoodie out the front seat, but I didn't want to move out the sleeping bags. So the time is now 9 o'clock. I've actually been in bed for a couple of hours just tossing and turning and trying to keep warm, but I do need to go for a little 5k. Now, I probably won't film the run as such, but I will take it with me if there's anything interesting or any fantastic views. But otherwise, I am going to get dressed, and the next time you see me will either be a quick running shot or me getting back in the car to leave. Well, what an absolutely epic run that was. The trails were absolutely awesome. The weather, as you can see, was absolutely perfect, and yeah, I'm feeling nice and knackered now. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's car camping adventure. And until next time, take care.